on digital radio, on the app, on your smart speaker, on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch.tv, and Facebook. The Sportscast. Summer of Soccer.
The Jersey Boys Sports Talk presented by The Sportscast.
The Jersey Boys Sports Talk with Victor Arocho and Byron Jones. And here's your host, Victor Arocho.
Yo, let's go live out of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Welcome to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk. Hosted by Byron Jones and Victor Arocho. Brought to you by The Sportscast. Today is June 20th, 2024. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to The Sportscast on all our channels, YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, and iTunes. If you're on iTunes, go to the purple icon podcast and subscribe to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk. Please leave a rating and review. It'll help us out tremendously. You could also get notifications and subscribe to our podcast on Spotify. We stream every week at 7 p.m. on Thursdays live on YouTube and on Facebook. Please join our show. Leave some comments. Ask to come in and join the fun. Let's get ready to rumble. Mr. Byron Jones, how are you doing today?
Trying to stay in the house from all this heat up here. It's hot. It's been hot for like 3 days in the 90s, and it's brutal. It's just that hot humidity. It's a mess. So I'm trying to stay in the house as much as I can.
Well, at least you have central air conditioning. We didn't grow up the way we grew up with fans in the window.
A fan in the window was just a window. No fan in the window.
That is true, but as we started getting older, we started upgrading to we would always sleep in the living room where the main, or my parents always had either AC or something, or the living room, and we upgraded to a fan in the window. And you would think back in the day, having a window open all night long, right? And a window and a fan there, it's kind of risky if you think about it, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, but you knew who all the criminals were in Perth Amboy, so you knew pretty much who was going to be the cat burglar trying to climb in your window.
That's true and not true. I just think it was different, right? It was still, but yeah. Well, that's why I can't. You see, I got soft. That's why I can't go up during certain times of the year when it's like cold and hot, and then cold and hot. That means like the businesses don't turn on their AC. I can't deal with it. I get cranky. I need cold. I need a 69 at all times. 69, 70 degrees.
When I played in college in Tulsa, we had like one of them years where the heat. It was brutal. It was so bad one year that they had like the bottom floor of the dorm. They had to open the door and leave the door open and just put a fan there and just blow the wind. So we didn't have no air and blow whatever hot air all the way through. Yeah, everybody slept, but we had suites, so everybody slept with a suite door. Oh, it was disgusting.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. All right. Well, we got a lot to talk about the show. We also have a special guest coming on the show. We'll bring him right in, Mr. Saul Winters from the WCFL Dolphin Talk Sports Show, a major Dolphin show with great, dedicated Dolphin fans. Welcome to the show, Mr. Saul Winters.
Byron, Victor, thank you guys for having me back. I appreciate you guys, man. How you guys doing today? Byron, I'm with you. It's hot. I'm with you, Byron. It's hot here in Philly. It's burning up, and it's only going to get worse the next few days, man. So, I might as well buckle up like everybody else, bro. For real.
I'm staying in the house right now.
We have another person in the green room waiting. We're gonna let you in a few minutes, Mr. Eric. I'll tell you though, being in Fort Lauderdale, I'm by the water, so at night sometimes it's a nice breezy warm wind. So at least I get and I'm downtown Fort Lauderdale, so how when you're in the city, you got the wind and stuff. So I feel a little bit benefit here, where then when I lived in the suburbs, that it was just once you walk outside, it was super hot. But Byron, it's funny. Everyone's talking about the heat, and I want to let Eric get in now. So let me welcome Mr. Easy E Eric Winters to our show.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
I'm gonna
What's
start
up,
calling Eric.
bro?
I'm gonna start calling Eric the Phantom. Okay. So, by the way, there's no coincidence that Dolphin Winters and Easy E Winters have the same last name because they happen to be brothers. So, welcome the duo to our show.
What's
Well,
going on, fellas?
What's up, bro?
Eric is the younger one. I'm gonna start calling Eric the Phantom. All right, Eric. When he first started coming on our show, he'd wait just while we were about to end, and he'd come on the show, and we'd end up staying on the show for another 30 to 40 minutes. Remember, Byron?
He come on
Hey,
at 8:59. Here he comes. 8:59.
so, we run through with this show. We would go 30 minutes there. I'm like, what is going on with this dude? And then he would come on regular, and he comes on in between. And then last week, he just ghosted us. We're in the middle of conversation. Bang. He just oh, shit. The producer goes, did you say something, Eric? I didn't say anything. I'm like, Eric, boom, he was gone. I'm like, what the heck happened to
I told you guys my phone was dying. I was like, yeah, I gotta go. My phone dying.
I guess I missed that. That was so funny, right,
We
Byron?
didn't get the memo. We didn't get the
We didn't get
memo.
the memo. Man, it's like, okay, where'd he go? He just disappeared in the middle. Oh, God. Hey, welcome back to our show. I'm glad that you came back to the show. We have Dolphin. We got a lot to talk about. I'm sure, Eric, you're going to have some good stuff here to add to the flavor. We were talking about the heat that's going around. I was talking about that to some clients today. And, a lot of, maybe because I'm a guy, and I don't have long hair, but also I'm a guy. And every time I talk to people about heat, they're always telling me, oh, but that Florida heat, man, I can't deal with the humidity. My hair gets all messed up, and you use this women, this and that. I was like, I can't. I don't know what the humidity does to the hair or anything, but all I know is that Arizona heat. When I'm out there, I was at a conference. And oh, but it's different. It's dry heat. No, I don't care. It's hot. It's a.
Yeah.
I don't know
Hot
what.
is hot.
Hot is hot. Dry
Yeah,
heat.
hot is hot.
I walked out. They had the misters on. The misters hit me and dried up as soon as I walked out of the misters.
Mm.
I mean, and you got to walk like a cowboy because you know how when you sweat your legs, your thigh. It's terrible. So I don't know. Byron, when you played out west, when it's hot and that heat, that dry heat, I don't care what it is. That is hot.
Dude, we played on
That is
artificial
like,
turf, man. The old artificial turf. You know how hot that stuff was? Man, we'd go out there be stretching, and the lines. Next you know, you turn around, look, somebody that fell over in the face. Boom, right on the ground. And what would our coach do? Just move up 5 yards. So everybody would just move up and just let them lay there on that hot turf, man. Come on, man.
no water. Well, double sessions must have been really bad.
None, not a drop.
Yeah, double sessions. I love double sessions. It's hot, but I love double sessions. It was one of the best times of my time was those 2 weeks for all 4 years. So I got invited to camp. But for 4 years of double sessions, I always look forward to it because it's the only time in your life you're doing nothing. No one's expecting you to go to work except for play football, watch film all day long. And then you're so sore. The guys, even if you're conditioned, you're so sore that you're sleeping in the middle of the day, right, Byron? Because you
You got a nap. You took a nap whenever you could.
And back then, we'll add to Easy's making fun of our age all the time. Yes, we only had TVs, and they only have 5 channels on them.
I see. I didn't even say anything. There we go. I didn't even say anything.
Come up one time or the other. He always references our old ass ages. Anyways, we had TVs with 5 channels, and there was always an argument on what soap opera the guys in the football girl who were watching.
All my children. All my children.
We were all my children. Someone else was out. We were arguing. I guess the Southern Jersey guys were all my children. Northern guys were something else. But it was hilarious. A bunch of football guys. The only time we ever watched soap operas was during double session. But heat is heat, and I don't know about you, but that dry heat, I don't believe in it. How about you, Eric?
No, I feel the same way. Like you said, hot is hot. I remember a million times being in uniform in practice as well as military uniform, and it's like, what am I doing? Like this is not what I signed up for. You know when you playing sports, they don't tell you about all of you playing all clement types of weather, especially if it's not thunder and lightning you're playing or practicing. And if it ain't you about to have a stroke, you're practicing two a day. So, I mean, but it built character. I mean, it built willpower for those days later down the line. Like you said, when it's hot, dude. Like you'll get through it.
Exactly. All right, so let's get it on. So I've been reading
Wait,
some
wait,
first.
wait,
We'll start a little bit. Yeah, Byron.
wait. We got to cover the Mets, man. That's your favorite team. You saw what happened. To say, hey, kid, you got to do him first.
Well,
Willie
first of all, the
Mays.
Mets are my favorite team, but Willie Mays is one of my favorite players. So yes, we can
Okay,
go on for that.
I was just checking.
I'll send the condolences to the Mays family and everybody who know him. May he rest in peace. Man, he lived a good. He lived till how old was he?
93.
93.
Man, God bless him. You could tell. He was. Some of those guys were rare. You know what I mean? I don't think he really partied. He was just a good man. I don't think anyone. There's never been a report of anyone saying anything negative about that gentleman. He used to go into the city and play sports, stickball. He would always be around
Yeah.
the community. And they didn't make that kind of money they make it now. I mean, I think some of those guys even had to work a part-time job while they were still playing baseball. You know what I mean? There's only very few of them didn't have another job after they were playing baseball. And
Right.
he was just, I remember the cartoon with Willie Mays, right? I mean, he was just phenomenal, phenomenal.
They were talking
Man,
about because I think he played like 24 years or something like that, and they said over his
Yeah.
whole career he made like 1.8 million dollars, like a total 1.8 million over 20 some years. That
Wow.
was it.
Yep.
well, even if he did
And,
make that type of money,
and Bobby Bonilla is still getting paid.
yeah,
Bobby
that's
Bonilla,
crazy.
he gets got like
Yeah.
four
That's
more
crazy.
years. He
He's
gets
a
a
smart
million
man, though.
something. He gets
It's
a million something, Eric, on his birthday every year. He gets the
to,
same amount that Willie Mays made over his entire 26 years every
to,
year.
to
That's a
2032.
smart man.
2032. Okay, thank you. All right. Well,
2032.
I know it was coming to an end, but man, he's been out of baseball for a long time. And I think
Hey, Victor,
Yeah.
I know you said that's your favorite player, and last night I was on my brother's show, with the Dolphins fan, and I love their show also too. But I wanted to ask you as well as Byron. You said it was your favorite guy, and yes, this is about to be an old question. Did you actually lay eyes on him?
I tell you,
Did you lay eyes on him? Did you actually see him?
Oh,
Willie Mays play?
wow.
nah, I'm not that old.
Well, listen, I got a guy. I got a guy. I know a guy that actually laid eyes on him, and I talked to him earlier today, and I was amazed by just the conversation he and I had. So I wanted to Coach Byron to just tell you what he saw when he actually saw himself. I mean, he saw Willie Mays play as well as Hank Aaron. Go ahead, Coach.
I saw
We just
Hank
stick
Aaron.
with Willie Mays. Willie Mays, I saw it was like 72, 73 seeds. It was like his last couple of years at Shea Stadium, where he was toward the end of his career. He wasn't the Willie Mays of old, but yeah, I did get to see him play his last 2 years with the Mets. He was he still was a good receiver, good receiver, but a good center field. But I think he had already went to first base by then. But yeah, he was. He got, at least like I said, I got to see him. It was toward the end, but that was good enough.
Hey, somebody's got some background going on. Can you see who that is?
Fan? Sound like a fan?
No,
I got the fan on.
Yeah, I got a fan on. That's it.
No, when you speak, I don't hear anything. Byron, say something. See, I hear it now. Is it me?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello?
I hear something.
Yeah. Hello. I hear it now. All right, well, put yourself on mute for a second, Saul.
Hello?
Okay, we're good there. Good
Yep.
there. Byron, say something. I know we can hear it. Okay,
Hello.
Eric, put yourself on mute.
Hello.
Saul, take yourself off mute. Good. Say something.
Hello?
Yeah, Eric, something says it got to be in your background. Take yourself off mute.
I believe it's the fan. Let me turn it down.
Yeah, we hear it. It's probably that. It's like when we were kids and we would sing into the fan. I think that's what's happening.
Come on, man. You're showing our age. You're showing our age, man. Come on, man.
No, I think he's still singing to a fan. Yeah, in 72, I did see Willie Mays play. I was just trying to remember. This is a little while back. But yeah, but those guys, they didn't make a lot of money. They made their money afterwards, and to live that long, and to have a career, he had to continue doing stuff. So, they may have had they had a good life, but and he was Griffey Jr.'s godfather, I believe, right?
No, Barry
Man,
Bonds. Bonds.
And
was it
and
Barry
and,
Bonds and Griffey?
Barry
and
Bonds.
Griffey then.
Wow.
No, it was
It
Barry
was
Bonds.
both of them then.
Oh, both of them? Oh,
Yeah,
well,
I'm
look
pretty
at
sure it's both.
two great players. But yeah, he
Well,
had 660 home runs, over 3,000 hits, over 300 stolen bases. So yes, he's probably one of the top three baseball players of all time.
that's living history right there.
He also served, right? So they said
Yes,
that if
yes, he did.
he served during his prime, and they said that if
Yep.
he didn't serve during his prime, he would have broke Babe Ruth's record before it was broken, like for the total number before Hank Aaron, before anyone else. He would have broke the record. He was
And
on
it's
that.
also amazing that they're starting to recognize all baseball players, whether whatever color or where they come from. They recognizing all baseball players. So and he still holds records up there high, even though they just started bringing guys in like Josh Gibson and everybody else. Willie Mays still staying the test of time. So he's a bad boy back then.
Well, one of my favorite players also was Roberto Clemente, and he would have did some
Oh yeah,
serious
he was
damage.
that guy.
He was on a pace to break everything. I mean, he was really young when he
He
passed.
passed in a plane accident, correct?
Yep, bringing supplies to people in Nicaragua. So
Wow.
he died in a plane crash trying to serve other people. So God bless Willie Mays, and then it's always sad when you hear it. Man, we lost two greats, right? Bill Walton, Willie Mays,
Jerry
Ooh,
West.
back to
Jerry
back
West.
weeks.
Jerry
Jerry West.
West. Yeah.
Yeah, West too. Wow.
Yeah, it starts
Mm.
coming down at range, but during if you think about it, think about Willie Mays' time though. Like he outlived these guys, and during Willie Mays' time, we were drinking faucet water. I mean, there was no antibacterial. There was like you drinking out of the hose. There was all the vitamins on there was a fresh market and stuff, and they lived a good long life. This year we my 1 year my dad passed. He was 88. And he was served in the army, he smoked, and there was something different then. Now we're doing all this protective stuff. I don't know what's happened to somebody.
Yeah,
But
right.
anyhow, God bless to Willie Mays and the family and the baseball world is sad. It's been sad, a rough couple months in professional sports. And thank you for everything they did. They give us great memories, and they'll go down the history books. And, they'll never be forgotten. Byron, I'm hearing hot seat rumors getting worse for Dable and Sean.
What?
Yeah,
They're on the hot seat.
they should
So
be.
Saul is so,
They're in their third year of a rebuild again, and they kind of sort of going to fix the offensive line. They got a receiver that's talking smack to Trayvon Diggs down there in Dallas. He had to lighten up a little bit. Malik Neighbors, brand new receiver, and he's been going back and forth with
he hasn't even been in the
Diggs
league.
and Dallas. Yeah, pretty much. Man. Yeah, pretty much.
Whatever.
So yeah, it's Evan Neal. So always talk about opposite, but it's going to be interesting this year.
All right. Well, we'll be reporting on it. They're also saying they're cutting several of the guys. They are definitely keeping Tommy Cutlets. My understanding, and so that's interesting. Any updates on Daniel Jones's rehab?
Not he's on target. To start. Probably start the season. They're probably going to hold him out of the preseason games like they usually do, and hopefully it doesn't start off like a disaster like they did last time. Oh, let's let him run 7 plays in the preseason and then go out and play the game and get blown out 40-0 the first game. You have to have the live bullets. You got to get out there. You got to get out there and get hit a little bit. So, we'll see. But, he is coming off an injury. That's probably, the safer thing, not for him to go out there.
What was his injury again?
Torn ACL.
And you would put him out there?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
No, we're not.
You figure he's
And
behind
not only we're worried about when to put him out there because if he's like, they think he's going to have to sit out 4 games. Well, that 5th game is against Dallas, and I don't think he should line up his first game against Micah Parsons. You know,
If you're gonna do it right.
Don't they didn't wait to start. They didn't wait to kind of start off. Micah
Yeah.
Parsons gonna be salivating, chopping at the woods, and he's going to be coming. So I would not start him against Dallas. Either play before
They did
Dallas
that
or
last
after
year.
Dallas.
Yeah, but they
Look
played
what happened.
Dallas first last year. Look what happened. 40-0.
What was the score? Exactly. So
But what's
don't do it.
the difference?
I just wouldn't want to get hit by Micah Parsons coming out for an injury.
You know, like
Just
a
duck.
piece of meat standing
Learn-
there.
Learn that
Not
keyword
with that
duck.
offensive line.
Duck.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Remember, you're the same guy that I'm telling them that after a neck injury, you're okay with him running a quarterback sneak. I'm like, are you crazy? You got a
Oh
neck injury.
man, stop, man. Let it go, man.
Hey, he got paid. The boy got to play. He got his coin already. Throw him out there.
After, man, listen, I mean, Saul can empathize with me with the quarterback. Don't put the quarterback in position to get hurt if he's already hurt.
The center got
ridiculous.
the center for the Giants got hurt on the tush push when they tried to do it. He was out because of his neck. So
Wait a minute. Don't bring us into that because you can't walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. Don't blame us for that. Like,
Peyton Manning's gonna be a Hall of Famer, and he will tell you he was one of the worst running quarterback sneaks, and he has a big head, and that brother didn't run head first in a quarterback sneak. Okay, so there ain't no reason you're gonna put a not Hall of Famer there. So all right, let's get to let's move into something real quick we cover, and then I want to get into something hot, or we can get into it first, but I want to at least cover the Boston Celtics. Congratulations, Boston Celtics win the NBA title. I mean, they just dominated the Dallas Mavericks to my shame because I picked the Mavericks. I did not expect what I saw, and it was bad. So, any comments on that, Byron?
No comments since I picked the Mavericks, and that was just ugly. Dallas, lucked up, won the one game. Oh yeah, they blew them out. Yeah. And next thing you know, that fell off the tracks. Man, that was brutal to watch the last game. I was like, I guess Boston's getting ready to get another title, but yeah, that wasn't even close.
Well, I was in the area. I was actually at the Yankees Red Sox this past Friday at Fenway, and I was up in the area, and definitely they was ready to celebrate. But they actually tried to start the baseball game earlier, but it was a rain delay of 45 minutes, so they wanted to start around the same time. And when I seen them getting blown out, because I was watching the game on my phone while watching the baseball game, I didn't think we had anything to worry about getting out of there on Friday night. But they still was closing down streets just for precautionary measures in that area. But I'm a Sixers fan, so I can't. That ain't happening.
You're right about that. I'm with you on that. I can't even talk about it. I didn't like what I saw just from the NBA itself. Like there was a gentleman's sweep, and from all of what I thought Kyrie was going to do, let's be real, he didn't show up. Like all of that other stuff, the off the court stuff, yeah, that's cool. But when it was actually time to lead your team and do what you needed to do to help the young man Luka at least get look like a basketball player, he
Right.
left him hanging high and dry. And then unfortunately, Luka had to actually figure that out in real time. That this guy can't help me right now. And it looked bad because Luka went to resorting to kicking his feet and screaming at the referees, and all he's actually doing was screaming, "Help me!"
Time out. Hold on. Everything you said, I agree with, except for that last part. Because since he was 13 playing professionals, he's been a whiner with the refs. So he didn't come into the NBA being a whiner. He was a whiner with the refs his entire career. And that's he has to stop. So I'm not going to blame Kyrie for that.
I'm not blaming Kyrie. It's more
I'm just saying everything was on the money except for the whining to the refs from Luka. It's his whole career he's been doing that.
I'm not blaming Kyrie for that. What I'm blaming Kyrie for is
No, I
You
wish you.
got
I just
into
wanted to
it.
make that comment.
You got into it
Kyrie,
with LeBron about how his leadership was when you were playing with him and won a championship, and you guys parted ways. You would have thought that he learned some things while playing with LeBron, or just from that moment to actually be able to lead a young player like Luka during that hard moment.
well, I think for me, look, I have newfound respect for Kyrie just because the way he handled himself. There's a lot of players out there that can do things wrong and will never at least own it, right? And you don't have respect. He has said all the right things. He's played top basketball all year. So, hey, we're about forgiveness, right? So if someone owns it, I got a lot of respect for him. He even said it. I was in a bad state. I tell him, don't people get into your mind. He tells, I mean, he's a champion. He's still a champion. He's still
Oh
one
no,
hell of
I'm
a
not
player.
taking that from him.
I know you're not. I'm just making a
Yeah.
comment. And then I think the only thing that is hurt him is that Boston's got his number. He could not.
I don't know.
They
Drew
got,
Holiday
they got
is real good out there.
no, but Boston's got his number. They got
Yeah.
him. Like he cannot. He performed throughout the whole playoffs, like incredible. He could not play at Boston. They could not play at Boston. They were booing him every single time he touched. The Boston fans are relentless. When they played at Dallas, and in the game they got blown out in TD Stadium in Boston, the Boston fans were fighting amongst each other. It's only
Really?
been they had a all-out brawl fist fight. The Boston fans are rough, right? I mean, no different
Mm.
than Philly, but these Boston fans are rough. So all I'm saying is that Kyrie was really I think let Dallas and Luka down because he couldn't get past that hump playing in Boston. The fans got to him. He was just terrible. Every game he played there, he was terrible. And Boston got the best of him because he left them high and dry. And good to, and then not to take it any way, Boston was on paper to me. I said it. Boston was a better team. I just thought that they were rolling at the right time. I thought Jason Kidd was a better coach. I was disappointed in Jason Kidd. I don't think he adjusted the game. Right? They were
Yeah, it was like
playing
street ball. It was like
they were
street
playing
ball.
it was either over one-on-one basketball. Statistically, they were dribbling the ball like five or six times before they started. Even every time they touched the ball, if you notice, Boston, that ball was flying around. I heard reports that the coach would have full tilt practices without the ball touching the ground for like most of the practice.
That's old
The ball
school.
had to be moving, old school basketball.
Yeah.
Dallas was dribble Luka, dribble Kyrie, make something happen, kick it out. I mean, that's not an offense, man. It's just not an
Right.
offense. So I was kind of disappointed. I
So
thought,
so you saying the NBA owe us some money for watching that fracking knuckle bull. That's what you saying.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what,
They owe us some money.
yeah, the NBA would have taken a hit if that was a sweep because the NBA.
Mhm.
You're talking about the West is supposed to be the powerhouse of the NBA,
Right.
right? And then to get through the West and get swept. Now, not to take away from Boston, but the West is tough. I mean, everyone was giving Boston a lot of heat because them getting to the finals wasn't that hard of a task because everyone they were playing were pretty much injured. You know what I mean? The players were teams. They dominated in the NBA.
Yes, they did.
They
Especially
dominated.
what's the guy name? The tall guy, Porzingis.
Porzingis,
Porzingis,
yeah.
Oh
Porzingis.
my God, he was doing whatever he wanted to do.
What are you talking about, man? You know how those championship teams got players you just like you just hate the guy because he's not supposed to do what he's doing. And they got
Right.
like five of them. I mean, Derek White was on fire. I hate him because he probably killed me with the heat. Okay, he's got those little cartoon eyes. Then you got that little Pritchard dude that keeps hitting half court shots. Okay,
Oh yeah,
then
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you got that redhead Hauser. I mean, think about they're stacked. I mean, I can go through a list of names, and most of their team is re-signed already. Like
Yeah.
they're going to be a good team. They're going to be a really,
They
really
definitely
good
got a
team.
good program.
And you brought this up last week. Drew Holiday, you asked me about him being MVP. You could have an argument for that, but he was
Yeah.
a major fixture for why they got to where they got to. I mean, this guy's a champion twice in two different teams. He was a critical component. In that fifth game, he's the one who set the tone. He was on
His on the ball defense and rebounding was ridiculous, yo.
It's Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum like 1 for 9 to start the game, and then they heat up. Drew Holiday lit it up right off the bat, so he was igniting it. Jalen Brown was well deserving of the MVP, but I mean Jalen Brown, Drew Holiday, you got Porzingis, you have Horford. I mean they just bro, they were coming at you with full guns, but it was killing
So
me.
you think they got a shot next year?
I think they got a good
Yup.
shot. I mean, they got a really good shot. I mean, they're stacked, dude.
Mm.
And they're signed. It's not like they have to worry. They don't have any pieces they got to add. Maybe if they get lucky, but who are you going to add to that team? And look, I
So
used to I like Marcus Smart.
do you
Getting
give
rid
the
of him,
victory?
you were worried.
Do you give the victory to the head coach, or do you give it to the GM that coached that team before he?
I give it
What's his
to
name? Brad Stevens.
Yeah, he's the GM. Yeah, so I give it to all of them because you got to make the right. Think about it. He wins a championship, and most of his team's already locked up in contracts. That's a GM move, right? So you're trying to go for more. This is Boston. They want more than one champion,
But they got
right?
18, right?
They got like 9 players already signed, bro.
No, 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 no. I'm talking about championships. Who
Yeah,
has
They,
more?
they
Them or
would
Lakers?
No,
Them or the
they're
Lakers?
about 18. They got one more than the Lakers.
They got one more than the Lakers. Damn,
Yeah, one
that's
more than the Lakers.
basketball.
And they got a team that is 25, 26 year olds. And they're all signed. I mean, Jason Tatum's young. I mean, most of those women, Jordan didn't win his championship until he was like 28.
Did
Like
they
most of
pay
these guys,
him?
they didn't start winning. Yeah, Jason Tatum. He's about to sign a $300 million contract.
But what did Jalen Brown get?
300 million,
300.
600 million between two guys. Yeah, exactly. So, and then Porzingis is already signed for a couple of years. Drew Holiday is signed. Jalen Brown is signed. Horford is there. I mean, they're stacked. Derek Brown. Derek White. I mean, it's just crazy. So, and then now the coach, you give him credit because he's taken them there a couple times, and he's made some really good adjustments. And the way they swing the ball. I mean, they've done a hell of a job there. So you got to give it to the coach. You got to give it to the GM. You got to give it to the players. And you got to give it to Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown. They didn't let the noise outside get to them about who's better, who's this and that. Jalen Brown won the championship. The first thing he did, he goes, "I want to shout out to my partner in crime, Jason Tatum." That's the way you
Right,
want to put it. And
right.
most teams
That's
have a
change.
number one and a number two. They have two guys that are either night can be one or two.
They saw both of them. We had a shot at, and we go pick Ben Simmons and
Dude, don't remind
Markel Fultz.
me. Don't remind me, bro. Don't remind me.
Ah, man.
Funny. All right, well, I wanted to just get that out, and I think shout out to Boston Celtics, versus Dallas. I think they'll be back. Luka's got to get in shape. He's got to learn to play some defense. They're missing a couple pieces, and they got to do something about an offense. I don't think they're going to win if they play an offense like that. They showed they can get through teams playing that kind of offense, but I just think that if it's not working, you're in trouble because you don't have enough touches. No one gets a shot of shooting the ball. So anyhow, all right, let's move on. Let's get into the hot topic that I'm glad that Mr. Winters came right on the show. Okay, and Eric will give you some little flight for your side. All right. So, Byron, let's start with you. Okay, we talked last week about the craziness on Trevor Lawrence and his quarterback contract. Right?
Oh man,
We're getting crazy with the receiver contracts, right? Because that's still not finished. Okay, now because of Trevor Lawrence, you got Dak lined up, you got Tua lined up, you got it's quarterback after quarterback, right? That is lined up, and there's some problems. Dallas has got a major problem. I mean, Dak is going to be looking for 60-something million dollars, right? Over 55 million that Trevor Lawrence had, and they can't tag him as a franchise player, and they have no trade cost. So, Byron, where do you think Dak's moves are? What do you think the potential if he changes? Where would you like to see him go? Where do you think he would go? Where would he be a good fit?
Let's see. Where would it be a good fit? I'm gonna start with that. He's from, I think, Louisiana. So probably New Orleans Saints if they get tired of the guy that's down there, Derek Carr. That'd probably be a place for him if Dallas doesn't want to give him $60 million a year. Just saying the number, $60 million a year for Dak Prescott.
$1 million.
Hasn't won anything. Hasn't been to the championship game. Nothing. Kind of like Trevor Lawrence, him too. I don't think Jerry Jones has wrapped his mind around giving him $60 million when he really hasn't led them to the promised land that they haven't been there the last 35 years or whatever it's been. So Dak, if anywhere at New Orleans, maybe I'm gonna throw one out there. If we get rid of Daniel Jones, maybe Dak come to New York, maybe. Or if he wants to win now, the Miami Dolphins, if they let Tua walk, might as well throw it all out there.
We don't want. I know me personally. I don't want that. No.
All right, we're gonna get to that now, but let's give me the narrative. Give me let's see. You don't want him. Let's stay off that because we're gonna come back around the tour, right? So tell me how do you see that playing out, and where do you think there's teams that can use the Dak though. Maybe Dolphins aren't one, but Dak he's a good quarterback. I mean,
I'm not saying he's not a good quarterback, but
whether he's not worth $60 million, but where do you see him outside of the Dolphins? Let's keep the Dolphins safe. It's okay. But I want to, they have talked about the Giants. He is from New Orleans. These other teams can pay him.
They could.
Right? The other teams can pay him, whether or not. So where do you see him possibly going? Giants would be a good move because it's the NFC East, and he's put up numbers in the NFC East.
I mean, shoot. The way I look at it is, you never know. You can keep it in conference and go to Washington.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Just to sit there and stick it to the Cowboys, you never know. Stranger things have happened. We've seen some stranger things.
Hey, listen, you're my older brother and all, but I'm not feeling you right now. Don't do that to us. Don't do that to us, man.
Tell us where you think he would go. Don't say because of you. Why do you think that would be a bad move? I think he's got a good point.
Oh my God! Like really, that man got to listen. He's out for a vendetta, man. He ready to scorch earth just because he played for Jerry Jones, and he actually came back on that contract with the ideal of Jerry Jones was going to back him clearly after he got that injury, and that was due to the fact that we all forgot about the thing with the taking a knee and, hey, you better stand up, and if you don't, then you know how that's going to go. So for you to say to leave him in our division, no, I don't want him to blow our division up. No, go somewhere else with that crap. Like, take all your baggage somewhere else. But the place that I thought about, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump out there like that. The place that I did think about, and it slipped my mind when he said that, it actually hurt my feelings. I was like, damn, because it threw me off.
You didn't say that when Byron said the Giants.
No, it's not the Giants. You know what? The Giants would be a good spot.
But I'm saying to you, you didn't make the same comment when Byron said the Giants, but when Saul said the Washington, that stung you. It's the same conference.
No, but it wasn't the team. It wasn't that team when he said it. I lost my train of thought on the team that I was thinking about.
The Saints.
Nobody wants to play for the Saints. And the reason why I'm saying that is because remember those years Archie was playing and they had the bags on top of their head? What player would want to go there and deal with that? Like, I know money isn't everything to everybody, especially in Dak's situation. Yeah, he want to get paid, but he still want to win too. I would say, I mean, listen, most of the time, anytime somebody get exiled, they either go to two different teams. It used to be Green Bay, right, Coach Byron? They used to send you up there and exile you out there, or if this was a possibility, if Burrow is hurt, that's his name, Joe Burrow. If he's hurt,
yeah,
because nobody know about his arm yet, Cincy.
Okay, I'll give you that. I don't think
that would be interesting. Right. I mean,
but here's the deal: if I was Dak, think about it. The reason why, if I was Dak, I'd want to stay in my conference. You know the teams. You know what you're playing against. They're not going to change too much of the makeup. They are what they are. It's an advantage to you. You've been playing against them. 6 games a year, right? Is it six? Two, four, six.
Yes.
6 times a year for how many years? You're going to succeed, in my opinion. So that's one. But he'll go where the money is and where he could win. But anyhow, I think he's setting that up, which is now it's going to trickle down. Tua. Now let's talk about Tua. Tua's going to look to get paid. He's going to look to get paid some serious money, and you got to pay Tua. And I think Tyreek Hill is going to come back for another contract. He's not going to be happy
Well,
sitting where he's sitting.
that's already been discussed. That Tyreek, they're actually trying to create space to get a Tua contract done and to get Tyreek an extension so Tyreek can stay with the Miami Dolphins to retire. I keep telling everybody, and this is the third podcast I've said this. Yesterday's price is not today's price. So I said this to people in the Miami Dolphins podcast, and I keep telling people, the longer you wait, the harder it's going to be to sign this man. I say that he gets a contract done by August. If he doesn't get it done by August, and he plays on that 5th-year option, and he balls out, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a major problem. Because then I keep telling fellow fans, I said, we're either going to sign Tua or else, which maybe going backwards. Because you just don't find quarterbacks like that. You know what I mean? So,
Byron, what do you think is going to happen with Tua and Dolphins?
How old is Tyreek Hill? Let's start with that. He's at least 30, isn't he? Or close to it?
I'm close to it.
Let's see. So why would you want to, well, not you, but why would you want to extend him and give him more money when he's toward the back end, of his career, as far as, just being the productive guy, that he's been. I know he probably takes care of himself and does all the things, but do you want to pay a 30-year-old plus, whatever he is, wide receiver, that kind of money, even though that's what's happening now that, the wide receiver position has blown up, as far as these guys getting paid. So you're going to pay him. So what is it going to leave you to pay Tua? Now since, Trevor Lawrence with the $55 million, that's the number now. So are you going to give $55 million a year? Should they?
I'm just saying, Coach Byron, you about to get attacked by what you call them, the two and eyes?
You're gonna have 2 and 9 try to attack people for just being straight up and factual. At the end of the day, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how much we have to spend right now, and I don't know, but I'll say this: the word from the front office, and the word is it's basically language. It's basically money. How much upfront money, language of the contract, different things like that, because the Miami Dolphins are trying to protect themselves. And we know Tua and his agent wants their money, but the Miami Dolphins are trying to protect themselves for anything like if this man goes down again with a major injury. This is a man that did sustain three concussions. He's coming off a hip injury from college. We all know that. So you're thinking about giving this man $300 million just off of one season? I don't think you should. But he's going to have to get paid sooner or later because with Trevor Lawrence getting $142 million up front, better sit there and get his kids something because he's going to be looking like, yo, I know I could go somewhere and I know somebody's going to pay me something.
Hey,
I mean, he needs. When do you think they're looking to sign him? They're looking to sign him before the season.
They're trying to get this done. They're trying to get this done before the beginning of before at least around training camp or before then. I say, and me and one of my good friends that I was just hanging out with, he's a fellow Dolphin fan too, and he's been a fan since the 70s. He's saying that he said by August, he thinks by August they'll get the deal done, and I'm feeling the same way.
Now, why are they playing Russian roulette when they already know they're going to sign him?
I'm gonna be honest with you. We don't know. We're all speculating on our end. We have no idea what Chris Greer and his agent is talking about. We have no idea what Tyreek and his agent are talking about. We're just doing speculations over here and just like little things, little tidbits. At the end of the day, it's a wait and see. It really is. Do I, me personally,
But you
do I
guys
want
played
to
that game with the big fella. What's the big fella that just left to go
Oh,
to the
Christian
Raiders?
Wilkins. Well, I'll say
Y'all
this.
played that
Christian
game with
Wilkins.
him, and he gone
So,
now.
so Christian Wilkins was offered. This is I know a little bit on this. Christian Wilkins was offered 60, 70 guaranteed and 23 million a year. Now that's something that I did hear that he was offered from the Miami Dolphins, and him and his agent said no. That man got paid by the Los Angeles Raiders. I'm listening. I'm happy what he did for our franchise. I'm happy what he did for his time here in Miami. But he wasn't going to get that type of money, especially we know that we have to sign to it, and that's a priority. So that's just how business is, man. And we're going to find out if our run defense is going to be as good as it was with him or without him.
Hmm.
Tua's
I
numbers
agree
are
with
better
you on
than
that.
Lawrence's. Just that, what scares me with Tua, if I was a Dolphin fan, would be his he's only played one full season. But when you look at the numbers, he's played like 13 games each season, though. I mean, according to some of the numbers.
Hey,
So it seems
hey
like why does
Victor.
it seem like he's been hurt way more than
Well,
than
you got to
like
think about it. They started them off slow with Flores. They started them off slow with Fitzpatrick. Then he really sat there and they let him play the season. I think year two, year three, because you got to think there's in between the situation with Flores and things wasn't going well, and then he got hurt. He did get hurt. He got hurt in year three with the concussions. All three. I still say that the first one was a concussion from the Bills game. Then we seen the Cincinnati game. Then we seen the Green Bay game. So you sustained three different concussions in three different games, and that's no excuse. But you can't be having those type of symptoms and trying to lead a team. Not at all. So
Hey,
yeah,
hey
that's all I'll
Victor, I'm gonna throw something at you real quick. I threw it at Saul last night. So you know what I'm about to ask about the
Go ahead.
financials, the particulars, right? If
Mhm.
if was a fifth, we all got drunk and we were sitting down, being able to switch teams and players. Would you trade, if it's a possibility? Would you trade Dak for Tua and have them switch teams?
if I was which team? You gotta tell me
I'm
which
So
not a
would
team.
Dak
fan.
go to Miami and Tua?
No, but I mean, which team is mine? Like, I'm
You can
unrestricted the
pick either
player I
one. You
would
could be
want.
Jerry Jones or the other guy. I don't care.
It,
I'm keeping
I would
to it.
take. I would
I'm
take
not.
Tua.
I'm not a fan.
I would.
I'm not a fan. Listen, I'm not a fan. After seeing Tua finally playing one season, finally a full season, I'm sticking with Tua. I know what that brings in tight situations. I know.
Ooh. See, that's
You
why I didn't
know.
want you to answer. I just wanted to hear what he was going to say. He's going to take that now.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Yeah, it's true. You did slide it a little bit. Um, if I wanted to win now, like
Mm-hmm.
Byron said, I'm taking that. Okay. Um, but if
On
because
what
right
team, though?
now,
For
well,
the
I would take
Dolphins?
that for either team, right? For me, I think he'd be great for the Dolphins because they're stacked. I mean, they got speed, they got everything that they need. I think that AFC East is open, right? You don't know what Rodgers is going to be. The Bills are up and down. The Patriots are not going to do anything. So the AFC East is there to take. Now maybe he has a chance to get into the playoffs and win more than one game. I mean, he's put up
Oh,
numbers. At the end of the day,
eh,
he's put up numbers. Romo put up numbers. I mean, but they just can't get over that past that hump. So if I was Dolphins, if I had to choose, I'd take Dak. Only because I'm not sure again, I'm happy for Tua. I'm happy for Dolphins. I'm glad I've like seeing his greatness last year. I'm happy that he played a full season. And unfortunately, the rest of his team gets hurt. So the Dolphins can't get a break. You know what I mean? You're going into the season worrying about a quarterback. Quarterback's there at the end of the year. You lose four of your star players. I mean, that is terrible. That's as bad as the Jets losing Aaron Rodgers in four snaps. So if it was
Yeah.
me right
yeah,
now, I'd put my money on to
for
win now
snaps.
with
How
Dak
about during the
because
season?
of the situation I just premised. Long term, if Tua goes through a full season again, then my money's on Tua because I think Tua has greatness upon him. He's throwing some great balls. I think he's tiny. You know, I think his propensity for injury is there.
Yeah, but you
What
got
bothers me the most.
Who said that
I'll leave
grown
this
man
one.
tiny?
The last one that bothers me the most, Saul, is the fact that he considered retiring. That
Right.
bothered me. Ever since he had that in his mind to retire, it's stuck in my head, and I think it's in his head, right?
Mm.
That was
Yeah.
scary.
okay.
Byron,
Let's address this. Joe Burrow gets hurt all the time too, but nobody ever says anything about that. He's coming off the
But
wrist.
that's why I said Dak would be a good fit out there. Dak got two
but
teams that he could go to.
Burrow took him to the Super Bowl and beat Patrick Mahomes. That's all he. That's all he had to do.
But he gets hurt. He's hurt all the time. Knee.
We still don't know if he's
wrist,
still hurt, right?
He's hurt, and he got paid. He was the first one to get paid, Joe Burrow. But then, like the Miami situation, okay, you got two. Okay, you send Dak to Miami. You're still going to have to give him $60 million in Miami. Do you want to give a 32-year-old quarterback $60 million a year? Or and I'm pretty sure Jerry Jones would take.
He's more proven than Tua.
You're going to get years. You know what I mean?
No, that's
playing
not
for their 30
everybody.
years. Who is it? How old is Kirk Cousins? And he got paid.
He doesn't.
Yo, he got the
Look at all the quarterbacks that are already up there in age. And remember, Joe Burrows is always right now. What has him ahead of the heap is because he beat the best quarterback in the game, Patrick Mahomes.
And he's been
at
hurt.
Kansas City. I get it. I'm just saying to you, he made it to the Super Bowl and he got through Patrick Mahomes. Everyone else knows it ain't an easy road to go through Kansas City. So you know that.
How long ago was that?
3 years ago.
3 years ago. So we're talking about 3 years ago that he beat Patrick Mahomes and got to the Super Bowl. What has he done for me lately? Nothing. He's been hurt.
But he signed that. Right?
Before we move forward, the other team that I wanted to mention that could possibly go to, one was Cincinnati, but the other one was actually New England, because they don't know about the guy that they picked up. They were talking. They said they don't know about the guy that they picked up in the draft.
The teams we gave you, they got something, right? Like, the teams we gave you have something. Like Dolphins, no confusion, they have something. I don't think that would happen. I think Tua is too much of a fan. And I'd like to see Tua stay. You asked me a question, I just wanted an answer. Me personally, I'd like to see Tua stay with the Dolphins.
I want those guys to get paid.
I like to see the team healthy to see what they can do, right? To have some heat, to have some fun down here. That's what I would do. But to go to a team like Patriots, that's as bad as going to the Saints. And I think Saints is a better pick, in my opinion, than the Patriots. It's where he's from, and the conference is weak, right? You go to the Patriots, man, you got firepower you're going to have to come across, right? You got firepower. If Rodgers stays healthy, they're going to be a team that we're worried about. The Dolphins are going to be good. And, the Bills are going to be good. You just don't know what they're going to be like at the end. Just why take that? Why take that? Make that risk. That's my feeling there. What is freaking me out the most, Byron, and team, is the fact it's the guaranteed money they're getting. I mean, because look at Deshaun Watson's deal. That's a bust. I would have thought it would have broke everything. It's a bust.
He's still talking about that.
He got guaranteed $250 million, bro. Come on, why wouldn't you still be talking about that? A guy who's only played 8 games, who had lots of trouble to begin with. That's a bad deal.
Yeah.
No, he has a good age. That's called a good age.
That was just not good. That's not a good age. That was just a dumb decision by the Browns.
Yeah, it was bad, but I'm just saying, Kirk Cousins. We talked about this before. All the money he's made through the years, and he's won one playoff game. One.
He's about to surpass.
Don't throw my man under the bus. Leave Kirk.
If he serves out all his contract money, he will make $441 million.
That's great. He's about to surpass.
He came in the league as a backup.
Tom Brady. He's about to surpass Tom Brady in earnings, and he's won one playoff game.
One.
That's it.
He has the best agent in the history of sports.
Yeah, and we talk about every. So that's what I see happening there. I think it's going to be an interesting season. Kansas City's going to still be they're going to be the tough player in the East. And I think Jerry Jones has got his hands full. He's got CeeDee Lamb. He's got, because I think, was that you, Saul, that mentioned the wait? Why are they waiting? Jerry Jones is like, his weight is killing him. I mean, he's got two positions that the market has risen astronomically that he could have locked them in beforehand. The
Hold on.
receiver
Who's gonna
market
tell Jerry
and the
Jones how to
court.
spend his money?
Who? What?
Who's gonna tell Jerry Jones how to spend his money?
The market.
Clearly, he don't care about that market. All he care about is that stadium, filling them seats up, and getting to the first playoff game and losing every year
No,
for the last 30 years.
I don't
That's
think
all he
that.
care about. As long as he can pay off
I
that
think
big
mentally
ass
he thinks he can
got
win a
up there.
Super Bowl.
They monitor.
Well,
Well,
according to
maybe we're wrong. Go ahead, Byron.
according to Cap Space, they $18 million in the hole, Dallas Cowboys.
Ooh.
Yeah, Dak
That's
out of there. Dak ain't gonna make it.
Dak ain't gonna make it. CeeDee Lamb ain't gonna make it. Micah Parsons is upset because they didn't pick the quarterback that Philly picked up. You know what I mean? So and now you're saying who should stay. So either we've been led mistakenly that Jerry Jones' interest in winning championships is what he really wants, because he's not doing it.
Why
I
are you
mean,
tiptoeing around it, Victor? You know what it is. It's the curse of Jimmy. It's the curse of Jimmy Johnson. That's what it is. And until he fix that, they're gonna be like that for another 30 years. Well,
I think it's
I
more
don't
than
know how
30.
Jimmy is,
By
but
putting him in the ring. They did
how about
fix
them
it by
Cowboys?
they fixed it by putting him in the ring. They did fix it by putting him in the ring of honor, though. So that's one fix.
Listen, just because somebody
Because
put your name in some sand don't mean it's permanent. You got to
No,
put
the ring
water
of
on it.
no, the ring of honor.
You got to
The
make
ring
it
of honor is
solid.
permanent. Ring of honor is permanent. The ring of
It's
honor
pretty
is
permanent.
permanent. I just think I don't think that the curse of
That
Jerry
man
Jones.
got you back-to-back Super Bowls, and you got rid of him because of your ego.
He got you 3 Super Bowls. That
Oh,
third one was
I'm sorry.
Jimmy
That's
Johnson,
even worse.
because Barry Switzer just coasted that time, because
Barry
that
Switzer
was
didn't have
just
a clue what he was doing.
at all, and they just won it. So I mean, it's not going to happen. But well, okay, and so you got Tyreek Hill, you got Waddle. You guys are set. I think your squad's going to be good. Let's get you healthy. Let's get Tua there. Philly looks good to be strong again. What makes the NFC East good for any quarterback like a Dak who was to go to a different team in the league is because for 20 something years, no team has won back-to-back conference titles in the NFC East. That means you have a shot every year if you didn't win it. Statistically, think about it. And we're the only conference that's won a Super Bowl in every division, in every team, and we have the most Super Bowls of any conference. So there's a lot of pluses to be in the NFC East. Um, and
Let me throw this at Eric. Let me throw this at Eric real quick.
Here we go.
Have you been here? I know. Have you been hearing the reports about Jalen Hurts and?
I knew you was going to bring it up. We're going to keep it in-house. I ain't putting my stuff out there like that.
Too late. It's our show. Bring it out, Byron.
Oh, my God. So you asked me what again? What did you ask me?
You heard me.
I didn't hear you. I had a deaf ear.
I said about Jalen Hurts and the little tube that he has between him and the head coach. That's what I was listening to today.
Are you talking about the dust stuff, the little dust stuff thing? Okay, so
there you go.
Jalen Hurts didn't do anything wrong from my eyes. Jalen Hurts, you and I both know Jalen Hurts is a straight line guy. He don't color in between the lines. So when they asked him the question of how do you feel about Nick Sirianni, he in return said, I don't feel no type of way. And that was it. So the media goes off, oh, he's disrespecting Nick Sirianni. He's not backing him. He's not doing it. He was like, yo, I didn't even say anything wrong. Whatever. I mean,
you have a controversy.
But then they asked him about the new coaches that we picked up. Well, it's not our fault that our owner decide to say, hey, look, Nick, you either gonna pay or you gonna get down or you gonna lay down. And what he meant by that is You're gonna get rid of everybody that's around here, and you can stay, but you better shut your mouth and watch how he work and how he pick up. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm gonna throw some more stuff at you. I'm on a roll right now. Who's the actual head coach of that team? Is it Big Dom? That's what I heard.
Big Dom? Oh no,
Big Dom.
He actually allowed to hold his hand on the sideline and say, "No, get back." Like that's his job. That's his job. They gave him a permanent job to say he the get back guy.
Director of security, sideline manager. He got all kinds of titles just so he could stay on the field now.
Oh yeah. He got kicked off the field and it went left.
What are the possible answers a player, particularly a quarterback? What makes it so important, Eric, and Saul, correct me if I'm wrong, or what your opinion is, right? There's no right or wrong. But a quarterback and a coach, they have to be on the same pace together. There's got to be something there between the. It's not like any other position.
I believe it's something there.
The quarterback is another coach on the field. Okay.
Yep.
So one answer is I don't have anything to say, and it's not that it was a wrong answer. It's just that's how he felt, and it wasn't bad either. It's just that's it. But normally, you're expecting a different type of an answer. And Byron, what type of answers are other than what he said could have been said?
Are we talking about in the metropolitan of Philadelphia? Are we talking about in that area where you can say one thing and it turn into something else? Are we talking about that? Because that happens in New York too.
Oh, hold on, it happens everywhere, particularly in major cities. But I'm just saying to you, Byron, I want you to go, or go Saul, and Eric will come back to you. Okay, you're a reporter. You ask the quarterback, how do you feel about your head coach, or whatever the question was? What's another answer he could have answered?
I love that guy. We're all in it. We're all in it together. We're trying to get that Super Bowl and bring it to Philadelphia. That's what we're trying to do.
Dak doing that right now. Dak saying the same thing.
Hold on.
He said the same thing, and you see how that went.
What would you say?
The what?
Say again.
What would you think another answer could have been? He could have said. What would you have liked to see if Tua was asked that same question?
I think Tua would sit there and say he has no issues. Like he would sit there and say their relationship is fine. Because I'll be honest with you, I think the relationship between Mike McDaniel and Tua is fine. I think there's no issue.
My question is, if Tua's asked that question, how would you make Tua? How would you respond to the question? See how Byron responded to it? He responded like it was. Like, hey, we're on the same page. We want to see the Super Bowl together. How would you answer that question?
I think E-Tech, we have an agenda where we're both on the same page. We have an agenda. There's nothing wrong with us. If there is anything that's wrong with us, it wouldn't come to you guys anyway. It would be in house, and we would handle it like gentlemen. But we got one goal in common, is that when the Super Bowl to South Beach, that's what it comes down to.
And Jalen Hurts did not do that.
He didn't. He's not going to do that. I'm telling you right now. Even till today, he is not going to retract what he said.
We're not asking about retract. The question is he not going to do that because that's not how he feels? Or he's not going to do that, just that's how he would answer regardless who the coach was?
Well, with Jalen, like I said, it's black and white with him. So there is no wiggle room. And the reason why is that's the way he was bred all the way through. Always straight line. So for him you're asking me, is he going to play the game? No, he's not going to play the game. He's going to say how it is.
I'm asking you, if are you saying that no matter what the goal or the relationship is with a head coach, whether it's Sirianni or not, that he would answer that same way every time? Or if he was like locked solid in, he would answer differently?
Last year, when we was on that 10-game run, right? And then when we lost, and then we started going downhill. Everybody forgot what Jalen said. Everybody forgot, right? What he said was, we're not lockstep in key, right? There's no discipline in what we're doing right now. We're just free falling. I'm not saying verbatim that's what he said, but that's where he was going at. His message did not stop after that. And 6 weeks straight, we bombed. So if he was screaming for help then, he got the help. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it froze. He got the help that he needed. We hired all new coaches around Nick Sirianni that has a base knowledge of what football is, starting with our defensive coordinator, our offensive guy know more than Nick Sirianni. Then you talk about the offensive lineman. Everybody know more about football than this guy who's supposed to be leading us. Yeah, lame duck coach. That's exactly what he is. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Shut your mouth, stand in the corner, and watch us win. That's how I'm looking at it.
Tell us how
Apparently,
you
there's
really
trouble
feel.
trying to. Yeah, I get. So I guess his answer is was taken correctly that there's trouble in paradise.
We made a mistake when we fired Doug Peterson, and they're trying to right the ship now. Let's make it known.
All right, so I guess that answers my question. If the relationship was solid, they were on the same page, his answer would have been different.
Big
Yes.
Dom is the head coach. I must that Big Dom.
Well, Nick Sirianni did it to himself when he did that crazy crap in that wasn't Kansas. Was that Kansas City?
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. No,
That's
that
where he got
wasn't
the
Tampa Bay.
popcorn.
That was Kansas
Oh,
City.
you talking about that was a Kansas City game? Yeah.
When he started shouting at the like what now you show me what coach in the league starts shouting back and forth with and it's the head coach at that start shouting back and forth talking about I forgot what he said. It's PG. This ain't PG, so I ain't gonna say it on the show.
Right.
But you shouting that out. Andy Reid ain't doing that. Who else? No other coach is doing anything like that, regardless of how they feel. Nick can't
Right.
seem to control himself. And that's one thing that Jalen Hurts don't like because he didn't come from coaches like that. All of his coaches was straight line. They told it how it was, especially Nick Saban. Nick Saban pulled him out of a championship game at a certain point and say, hey, yo, kid, you ain't got it. Even though you took us all the way here, you don't have it.
He left Nick Saban.
And we know
So
how
that's the lineage you come from. That's what
He
you're going to
left Nick
spit back
Saban.
out.
All right, well, like I said, when a quarterback asks that question, it's indicative of that relationship, how that person responds. Right?
No, what happened? What should have happened, and I'm gonna leave it alone, is when they was doing all the fire and hiring, Nick should have left. Let's just keep it 100. Because you and I both know y'all felt the same way about Dable when things started going downhill, and y'all was like, "Yo, fire this dude. Yo, we got to get in some new blood in here." Why bring him back with a not full understanding of what direction we're gonna go in, other than we're gonna hire everybody? That's like you being a supervisor on the job and they hiring all new young people around you, coming in with more base knowledge of the job as well as education and make more money than you. You're gonna feel like why am I even here?
Well, I said it last year, and they were never able to. Was that Byron?
And the
Yeah.
key.
I was teasing my brother yesterday, and he was
Stop. You
asking why I
see
didn't
that
jump on their
episode
show.
there. You're like, turn on the switch. We were
Yeah.
waiting for Eric
And
for
the
weeks. Come on. I think they're playing the rope-a-dope on everybody. I think they're sleeping. Do you think they're going to come back? He gave us every possible reason they got to turn the switch.
turn it.
Yeah,
Turn
yeah.
it.
Listen, this is why I don't come back. Hey, Saul, this is why I didn't come back on your show. They started teasing me about that. I said, "Oh man, I'm out of here."
No. Oh, that's so funny. But I think that if it makes it, I don't understand that team. If you already had issues going into season and you saw how you were playing and your quarterback's telling you, but I said it last year when you guys just were not. You were saying, well, they're supposed to dominate every game. You just didn't dominate any game. I just felt there was something wrong in the locker room. I didn't know what it was. Now I know it had to do with Sirianni. I knew something was wrong. There's too much talent on that thing to go that many games without at least two dominant performances. You had a couple awesome drives driving down the field. I'm like, okay, that's the Philly that we know. Super successful with the push tush. I mean, you had a lot of stuff going for you. And then I'm telling you, for me, Jalen was hurt. Just wasn't saying it to anybody. He wasn't running like he would normally do when he needed to. And then the team just wasn't. You were winning, right? But it wasn't. You were winning ugly. You know what I mean?
I'm not saying we wasn't winning because of
I felt
Jalen.
something was wrong in that
We just didn't
locker
have a
room.
competent leader. I'm just going to leave
Something
it at
was
that.
in that locker room, and I knew it. Now it's coming out, but something was smelling funny. On paper, that was too good of a team to lose the conference.
It all starts at the top.
Yep. Exactly. All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you for coming on our show. Eric, as always, we always have fun adding some color to the light. Byron, as always. Saul, why don't you tell us about a WC Dolphin talk?
Is
WCFL
WPFL
Dolphin
Dolphins
talk. When
talk?
you your show, how can they find you?
So we are on Wednesday nights, 8:45 to 10:45 on all social media outlets. On Saturdays, we are on 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Sundays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. and Mondays, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. On those days, we are on the Huddle Sports Network app on Roku TV and Roku Fire Stick. So you can catch us on those days on the Huddle Sports Network app along with YouTube and other sports social media outlets. And
Awesome.
and to add it on to people that are watching, we are looking for fans from 31 other teams. We don't care if you're not a Dolphin fan or not. We want you to come on, talk football with us. We're willing to sit there and learn and listen and actually ask questions about things that we want to find out and we want to know, and just the experiences from fans and super fans alike that love their franchises and love their teams.
Awesome. And check out the link below. We have the link to their show below. Go and check out the show and support their fans. Subscribe. They do a lot of good things. They do a lot of fundraising. They have a good group, good, loyal, dedicated Dolphin fans and Dolphin fans that know football. So thank you, Mr. Easy E Eric, Philadelphia in the house. Full Philadelphia fan. Thank you for bringing the heat when we talk about the NFC East.
Yeah.
Mr. Byron Jones, as always, the Iron Man of the Jersey Boys Sports Talk. Every Thursday, don't forget to subscribe. Please put out this show to everyone that you know. Every Thursday, we are live at what time, Byron? 8
8
p.m.
o'clock.
Eastern. 8 p.m. Eastern, streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. Go to YouTube. If you like the show, smash the like button. Leave a comment, leave some questions. We're always here to talk. We're getting excited for the season. We're going to see what's going to happen with this quarterback situation. We're going to see what's going to happen with the receivers because there's still more receivers that got to be signed. This receiver stuff ain't over. It just quieted down because the quarterback thing now heated up, right?
Hey, when
So
you have
I'm
a
super
chance,
curious.
when you have a chance, look at the CBS list. They have the top 100 players on there. Look at number 12 is Sauce Gardner as far as one of the 12 best in the NFL. So he's going to be getting paid too,
Nice.
since you have to have a guy to cover those guys.
Remember, I brought that up several weeks ago. Right? I said if the receivers are going to get paid, the next one in line is going to be quarterbacks. Because someone has to cover those guys. And it's gonna be, if
Sauce,
I'm an agent, I'm like, listen to me. How is it? How is it you gonna pay my client, Mister Easy E Winners, is covering that $75 million per year receiver, and he's making 15. That ain't gonna happen. He needs
Hey,
80 million to cover that $75 million guy.
hey, Vic,
So
before you guys roll, did y'all see that punch that Tank knocked my guy out with? He was a ghost, but he really turned into a ghost.
who's that?
He caught him with a nice hook. But we'll talk about that in the next show.
What fight was that? So I know.
Tank Davis and Frank Martin.
Frank Martin.
All right. Well, we'll bring
Yeah,
that up.
he definitely put a patch in his beard. I'm telling you that right on top.
All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for coming to our show. We really appreciate your time. And God bless. Have an awesome, awesome week. And I am signing out. Take care, guys.